Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Brad Tejeda. I got one of my boys, one of my best friends, Debo, also known as Bo. Y'all gonna get to know him a lot more throughout the show and all these episodes, man. But it's been a long time coming, man. This is something that we've been talking about for years. Anytime we go to a local bar and watch some sporting events where we're ending up drinking and arguing with each other, and people at the bar think we hate each other or we're trying to fight, and ends up just talking shit, talking sports, man. We figured why not start a podcast. We're both Hurricane fans, both live in Gainesville, and we love chopping up, talking sports. So we're gonna have a little bit of mixture of Canes football and other sports, man. But Bo, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. It's all good,
Yeah.
I'm glad we finally decided to do it. It's one of those things, I'm pretty sure most sports head can relate. You either said one or two things to your boy in your lifetime is, hey, we should start a bar, open up a bar, or we should start a podcast. So can't open up a bar right now. So here we are. Here we are talking shit,
And usually when these conversations happens, there's a lot of alcohol involved, and usually every time we're gonna do this podcast, there's gonna be some drinking involved. And why not start off the show with maybe a shot or two? So I got me some old smoky creamsicle moonshine. You're gonna find out that I like the sweet stuff.
Loves the sweet stuff.
He's more of a hard liquor guy with no chasers.
So, backwoods, baby.
What you drinking?
A little straight whiskey. A little. I'm usually a bullet man, but I'm budgeting right now, so I'm on my Zachariah.
Okay. The Zachariah branch.
No, start Zachariah Harris.
Hey, but before the show started, he came in and the first thing he asked me was name someone named Zachariah, and I said Zachariah branch right off the rip. And he's like, what? That doesn't count. I'm like, what do you mean doesn't count?
I said name one black dude named Zachariah.
And I hit it right off the bat.
Zachariah branch.
Listen, one of the
but
best.
He couldn't give me one more.
That's all I needed was one. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and take a shot.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Yeah,
it's a good
start off the show. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. That's good right there. So yeah, man, as y'all know, Brad Tejeda with Canes Insight. Most of y'all know me talking Canes football. Like you see behind me, my boy Sean Taylor, rest in peace. Sebastian Ibis. I got my boy Bo repping Canes Connection as well. So like we're gonna do every show, man, we're gonna chop it up and talk some Canes football, regardless what week, whether it's a bye week, who we're playing. We're always gonna, fill in with some Canes football. So we might as well start right off the bat with some Canes football. We just finished practice number 8 here on Friday. We're leading up to Saturday's first scrimmage in the fall practice. This is going to be one of the big time scrimmages for Canes football and Mario Cristobal. As Mario knows, man, he's a physical, relentless dude, and he likes guys that are, relentless and tough on and off the football field. And the biggest thing for me going into this first practice and fall is injury free. Going into this first game, August 31st in our backyard up here in Gainesville, we got to make sure everyone is good to go. Obviously the opposite end, they already got RB1 and Montrell Johnson that, is on the sideline right now. So we got to make sure we got our key players good to go. But at the end of the day, man, who are some of the players, Debo, that you have, at least before we even start about what you're looking for the scrimmage tomorrow on Saturday, who are some of the guys that you've heard throughout the first 7-8 practices that have really, caught your eye?
So, well, one, I just want to say, bro, I'm so fucking excited. Like that time where it's in hand grasp, like you feel like it's right there. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing like the start of college football, waiting to wake up the college game day with Kirk and Pat McAfee, another GOAT. But man, honestly, so I'm not gonna try to be one of those deep dive guy. I trust my eyes and I like what I see, man. I'm so fucking excited for Damon Martinez, man. Fucking man child. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I like big 6'2". Like, come on, bro. That's my size running out there. And so I can't wait to see what he can do. If he did that at Oregon State, I want to see what he can do behind this Miami line and where he can take us with that,
Yeah, with Damian Martinez, that's a running back that's averaged 1,000 yards both years in college football. He's coming into his junior year. He's already really proved himself over at Oregon State, and he decided to come to Miami. And, there's a recent clip of ACC Media Day there, here recently, and they kind of straight up asked Damian Martinez, what made Miami, the choice for you? And he was straight up with it. He's like, man, you don't see the talent that's on paper with this team. Like, well, why not add another dimension to it? And having a guy like Mark Fletcher entering his sophomore year and already doing what he did as a true freshman and hitting him up before he even decided to come to Miami and welcoming him with open arms and kind of saying, hey, man, we would love to have you here. I would love to have you in this running back room. For a proven guy as a true freshman, in my opinion, to already, not be a guy that, wants to take over the room and has no problem, sharing the load. You want that, if you want to build a championship caliber football team. And if you could have Damian Martinez and Mark Fletcher as your 1-2 punch, that's going to be extremely crazy, especially August 31st in Gainesville.
Yeah, bro, I really love that. And I was a big Mark Fletcher fan with him coming out of high school, And so for him to say that and be that welcoming to Martinez, somebody that could take reps for you, most of these kids, they hear that shit is portal and they out, But man, yeah, I really can't wait to see it. It's gonna be a nice 1-2 punch. Even I'm a Colts fan. My boy Jonathan Taylor has some nice things to say about Martinez. You know what I'm saying? That should let you know he's real deal. So I just can't wait to see it. I know you got about 7 or 8 players you're excited about.
The people already have heard like about 12, 14 players I'm excited about. We'll dive in, each and every episode we have here. We'll kind of dive into the depth chart and break it down the closer we get to the game. But I don't want to dive too much into the specifics of, some of the players right now. But just from an overall feel, Gainesville, August 31st in the swamp, Miami First, Florida. I mean, this is 2-3 miles away from where we're sitting right now. And we're going to be there, to experience it and also, have the other Cane fans, joining us. You're going to be in for a treat. It's going to be an atmosphere that you haven't probably experienced in a very long time. So, be ready for that. But what I want to ask you, Bo, is, we kind of talked off the air before about, how much pressure is on both of these coaches and programs going into their third year, this being the first game of the season for Coach Billy Napier and Mario Cristobal, right? And I think we both agreed that the pressure is probably more on Billy Napier. But what I want to ask you, my personal opinion is that I personally feel like that this Miami-Florida game is the biggest game for Miami football since 2002 when we lost to Ohio State in the championship game. And I'll tell you why. I think ever since that game where we should have won that 6th ring, it was downhill from there. Right.
In my head, we won it.
Yeah, not everybody's head, right? I mean, you watch the clip over and over again, the pass interference, the no calls. We definitely won that game. But ever since that game, 03, we were starting to decline, things happened. And from there on, it was downhill. And we were never the same since, right? And fast forward to today, 2024. Mario Cristobal, Shannon Dawson, Lance Guidry. You finally have your offense and defensive coordinator that have came back for a 2nd year in a row, which has not been something that's happened in Miami in quite a while, right? And then with the talent that you have on paper from top to bottom, the guys that are coming back, the guys that you brought in transfer portal that have already been proven at big-time programs against big-time games, right? If you do not win this game against Florida week 1, when are you ever going to get over the hump?
Yeah. So you remember I probably told you a couple of weeks ago, I feel like this is like the most important, like this game is a must win. And yeah, I know you kind of said it's not because of our schedule and how the ACC might shape, but I just feel like it's such, it's going to establish the rest of the season in our mindset. Like, and man, you know me, I try not to get my hopes up with Miami because they end up fucking breaking my heart every fucking year. Brad is what you call a diehard Miami fan. You know what I mean? Like, through everything, he's there. And I'm there, but I'm sorry, but I got to call shit how I see it. Like, these guys fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it and not they just hurt me because I do care so much. I love Miami so much. Like, it's the first college. And the reason I became a Miami fan is not like you, because you had the, opportunity to grow up, your dad taking you there and doing all this. I was raised in the middle of the woods. I wasn't going no fucking where. But my very first game I ever remember watching on TV was the national championship, Miami versus Nebraska. And that's how I became a Miami fan. And also my dad and my other people are from South Florida, but I didn't, know that from at the time. But man, I think it's so big. I think we gotta win this game. I think it's gonna set the tone for the rest of the season. And our schedule says like we should be in the ACC championship fighting for a college football playoff spot. And I've been bragging and talking shit to everybody, so we fucking better because you know me.
No, I feel you on that. And I mean, at the end of the day, on paper, on the schedule, we should be winning every game. I'm pretty sure we're favored in every football game this year, whether you look at the Vegas odds or just in general from talent standpoint. We're there. We say this every year, but I think, again, like I said before, if you can't win it with, a guy like Cam Ward at quarterback and some of the defensive linemen that you've been able to bring in on top of Akeem Mesidor, Ruben Bain, and others, when are you ever going to get over the hump? And I think, again, to your point, we can lose the game against Florida and we could still be successful this football season and still achieve all the goals. But in my opinion, if you want to get over that hump and really like make your stamp to say that Miami is on, the up of being a premier school in college football, you have to go into the swamp and win week one.
No,
I need a tough environment.
I need that ass. We live in Gainesville, bro. Yeah. All our friends
no Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy. I need that ass though. No Diddy.
Yeah.
Like we live in Gainesville. We gotta deal with these motherfuckers every day of our life. Our homeboys, Gator fans. Like we have to, at least for me, we have to, because we have to live in this motherfucker and deal with what comes behind if we lose.
Every
you know
day.
what I'm saying?
Every day.
And don't get me wrong. Even if we were to lose, I'm still talk my shit. I'll find some way. You know me. If worst comes to worst, I'm bringing up the rings. Fuck it, count them. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I got it tatted on me for a reason. I don't wear pants much, so when I walk around, you're gonna see the U on my calf, and I'm wearing Hurricane apparel probably 95% of the time I walk in Gainesville, and I've been living here for 15 plus years, so I'm gonna rock with the U regardless. But yeah. But speaking of homeboys, we chopped it up about our Hurricanes football team, but our leader quarterback, Cam Ward, he's got a homeboy he's been training in the offseason with a lot, in Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
And, he is the helm quarterback QB1 of Colorado with his pops, Deion Sanders.
We coming.
And no Diddy again. And
yeah.
So the Colorado Buffaloes have been a hot topic on social media lately in the past week. Me personally, I saw the video, the 30-second clip of
darts only.
The Shedeur Sanders, invisible throw where he throws it, halfway across the field, and then all of a sudden, homeboy catches it, and it's in a whole different, realm of the view of the camera view. So I don't know what happened there. I thought what was funny was that immediately after that happened, about 12 other schools posted similar videos and literally were making fun of Colorado. But I know you got some different takes about Colorado. I know Colorado has a soft spot in your heart. So let's talk about some Buffaloes.
Yeah, so me, I love Colorado. I love Deion. I love what Deion's trying to do. I love what Deion stands for most of the time. Sometimes he can be a little bit, But the video, that was the corniest shit ever. Like, why would you even fucking do that? Like, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. And then, you also got the people, and then you also got the big thing that got people going was the video he did where, before practice, he's saying, don't touch the receivers, don't touch the quarterback, and leave Travis Hunter alone. And a lot of people took that to heart and hated it. I could, first of all, but he also said something. The NFL, the quarterback's worth $250 million. They're not gonna let you touch him. Why do it here? And I stand on that. Like, I don't want nobody fucking touching Cam Ward. I wouldn't want nobody touching Sanders. I wouldn't want nobody touching Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But to say not touch the receivers, like I feel like they gotta get that a little bit of contact feel where the defense coming from, running from, where so they can turn the other way and stuff like that. But when he kind of singled out Travis Hunter as like, and don't touch Travis. And Travis is a generational talent, as we all know. You know what I mean? But I kind of feel like it sends I'm not overboard like the rest of the people was on Twitter about it, but I do feel like it sends like a semi-bad message to the team. Like, you got favorites, even though right after he said that, he says, I ain't playing favorites though. I mean, I'm sure you ain't, but
here's the thing. In my opinion, I mean, I respect Deion, especially, anybody that knows me, especially Debo. I got this funny story of back in the day, how I remember watching Deion Sanders and Sears at the Dallas Cowboys, like when I was 5 or 6 years old. So I always got respect for my boy Deion, but it seems like there's been a common theme with Deion, regardless where he's been as a head coach, and like whether it's culture or locker room vibes. It doesn't seem like he ever has it 100% together. And I think that's definitely a red flag in my opinion, leading up to the season. And, you talk about, the culture environment and what some of these players and just you as a fan on the outside looking in, what you think about it. I mean, what do you think about the players inside the locker room, how they feel going into this season? Because, I mean, when you look at their schedule this year, they don't have a walk in the park schedule, in my opinion. There's a lot of questionable games that could go either way, or where Colorado's just not going to be favored. And I think Colorado, especially them beefing up the trenches, especially on the offensive line, they're trying to protect Shedeur Sanders a little bit. They got a good wide receiver core. They got some pretty good players on the defensive side of the ball. They're starting to build a pretty good, decent team. But looking at the schedule, man, they could still end up 500 or even below 500 possibly.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot. He's done a lot to the roster. Shout out to that boy Jimmy Horn. I love fucking Jimmy. That boy is Florida through and through. But I mean, Deion's got a man. I don't like to criticize Deion because I love what he did for Jackson State and I love what he stands for as a man and like what he's trying to build at Colorado. But it does sometimes feel like he has a little favoritism. It does. I mean, I'm not gonna get mad at him having a little favoritism toward his son, the quarterback, because Shedeur is that fucking good. If he fucking sucked and he was acting like that, I have a problem. But he is that good. I think he'll be a first rounder. I think he'll be a top 10 pick. So that's cool because most of those guys are gonna be treated like that,
Listen, you got to remember, he walked into that facility and he said, "I got Louis." Like I don't care what number you wore or who you were before I walked in here. I'm treating y'all like you're on Craigslist or OfferUp. Like I'm putting you up on eBay, and I got Louis Vuittons, I got Dolce Gabbanas, I got all the luxury stuff right here in my backyard, and I'm bringing it with me. And I don't really care what you have to think about it, but this is what's going to happen. And that could rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, well, that was kind of cap. Deion kind of lied. He ain't have no fucking Louis. I mean, he had 2 Louis bags. He had Travis Hunter and he had his son Sanders. And actually, Shallow, I think he's a good safety. I mean, a lot of people don't like him, but I think he's actually decent safety. He led the defense in tackles last year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he did. But yeah, he just can't. He got to back away from the favoritism thing. We'll see what Deion really is after this year when his son is gone, Travis is gone, both of his sons are gone, and then he's got no kid in there. Then we'll see. Okay, what is this guy like? What he really is? You know what I'm saying? Especially from a culture standpoint.
No, facts for sure. But man, we wrapped up a little bit of college football, man. We talked about our Canes, we talked about some Colorado Buffaloes, but there's some other things, some hot topics that are going on right now across the world, and that's the Olympics, right? Each and every day there's some crazy event or something that you're tuned into, whether it's the USA or Netherlands or Poland. It's just one of those events where all eyes are glued into, and whether you're in the state of Florida, state of Utah, Idaho, you're gonna be locked in, tuned in, and kind of root for the USA, man. But there's some crazy events going on. I know we talked a lot off the air about women's boxing controversy. You got basketball, volleyball, and others. But right off the bat, man, me and you are both big basketball fans. And the USA team, there's been a lot of comparisons between the dream team and this team, whether, the competition they're playing against, round by round, or just the talented roster from top to bottom. You got guys like Jason Tatum that is doing the same thing we're doing right now and sitting on the bench.
That's not necessary.
but for real though, man, like the USA Serbia game was one to watch, man.
Bro.
This was a game that, like, there was a lot of hype behind it, and it lived up to the hype. Like right off the bat, man. You had our boy Jokic. Really,
my boy Jokic.
He was really doing his thing.
My boy Jokic.
But let's break down the USA Serbia game. Let's get your thoughts, bro.
No, man. I thought that shit was fucking. I thought that was I think it was an all-time great game. You know me, I'm a Nuggets fan. I'm not from Denver, none of that shit. But I grew up a Melo fan because the first jersey I remember that powder blue Anthony jersey.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm a Nuggets fan, and so I love fucking Jokic. It was a good game. Those boys, I thought they had our ass the entire time. You know what I'm saying? But Steph kept trying to keep us in the game. Somebody had to come along with him. Brown with a triple-double.
Yeah. As
the GOAT. Only the GOAT will do. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid finally got his lazy ass up and did something. Yeah. But KD, KD is I call KD like the best fucking hired gun in NBA history. That's what because a lot of players are like you associate him with some team, something, but you can't associate KD without. He's literally just a fucking hired gun. Like, I'll drop 30, leave me the fuck alone. I'm gonna talk shit on Twitter and my burner accounts. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So KD came in there, did his thing, man. I think it was great. But honestly, the way Steve Kerr is handling this roster, I mean, I'm not a Jason Tatum fan. He's doing Tatum I think it's kind of fucked up. I'm not saying start the man. I'm not saying he's got to play the most minutes, but he just won an NBA championship, and me personally, I don't even think he's the best player on this team. I think Jaylen Brown is, but he deserves some minutes, at least over. I think he deserves minutes over Booker at least, But that's not for me to decide.
My personal opinion is this. Our USA team is so stacked compared to some of these countries where when you really look at it and the gist of it, you can get like 7 to 8 star players, and then the rest of the guys need to be literally role bench players. Get yourself a bunch of whites, right?
Yes.
Get your yourself a bunch of who's Tyrese
Halliburton,
Drew Holiday. Get those guys, right? You're after 5 to 7 guys on the roster should be your star players, and after that, get me straight Drew Holidays and role players, right? Give me some of those guys to where you don't have this problem. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be your star players that are really going to pull through at the end of the day. And before we even talk about some of these star players that really pulled through against Serbia, my guy D Wade, he's been commentating throughout this whole Olympics.
Mr. Fingernails.
And listen here, Mr. Third greatest shooting guard of all time. Put some respect on my boy D Wade with Wade County, right? But he was saying, he called this all throughout the Olympics. Every single that USA played, he kept saying, there's going to be a game that Steph Curry is going to become Steph Curry and is going to allow USA to get over the hump and win a basketball game. Because all throughout this Olympics, Steph Curry has not had more than 11 points.
He's been trash.
Has not had more than 2 3-pointer attempts throughout the Olympics in each game. Well, guess what? Not only did he double his attempts in 3-pointers, he also doubled his makes in 3-pointers and had 36 points and 8 rebounds. So this was the game that Steph Curry had to become Steph Curry to get over the hump against Serbia, along with LeBron helping out in the fourth quarter. But D Wade called this from the jump and said there would be a game that Steph Curry would need to become Steph Curry. And he did just that. And not only him, but LeBron, helped with a triple-double. And then you had Joel Embiid that had 19 points, went 8 for 11 from the field, which was pretty good as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I need you to hear that. I need you to say that Steph was trash.
Throughout the Olympics,
he's been trash.
Yeah. Yes.
That doesn't take away from the fact that he's the greatest shooter ever, but he has been trash. But no, fucking thank God for Steph, because he kept us in that game. And then finally LeBron decided, like, okay, you ain't going out like that, I ain't going out like that. And then finally Joel said, hey, I think I want an MVP too. I could chip in a little something. And then KD said, well, you don't know, I'm fucking Slim Reaper. Came down a little less than a minute left to hit that fucking dagger. Man, that shit was fucking beautiful. I loved every fucking minute of that shit, man. I couldn't have pictured out. Like, I was pissed off when we were losing by that much, but I couldn't have pictured that game going a fucking better way, because it's no fun when you just cruise all the way there. Like, you want to be able to, like, worry. I know some people get dramatic and like, yeah, the rest of the world is catching up. I think we're ways away from that shit, unless one country gets like 10 Luka Doncic or some shit like that. But nah, man, that was a fucking great game. I love it.
Listen, I have this pulled up too, because this was a clip that I saw on Twitter earlier, and it had me dying laughing, because there was a moment in this basketball game where Serbia was definitely up, and it felt like USA was grasping at straws. And this young man from Serbia did something on the court, turned to the sideline, looked at Carmelo Anthony, and did the mellow.
He did not do the fucking mellow.
Oh, wait.
Okay, I haven't seen this clip. Because that's my...
Oh, here we go. Don't worry.
I used to kick ass in 2K.
You're going to watch this. Ready? Everybody.
And he's wearing his 7?
Look. Check it out.
No!
Wait. Look at Melo. Number 7. Remember that.
Melo!
Now watch what happens. Watch what LeBron does after this.
Okay, I never saw this shit.
Number 7.
Yes, sir. Grab my boy.
Over number 7. LeBron putting respect for Melo.
Let's go. Put the Nelly on the face. Nelly Band-Aid. Hey, let's go. I love that shit. I love that.
Yeah,
I know he did not disrespect mellow like that. The original. Anybody that knows me know that's my shit. 2K, I used to bust motherfuckers' ass. All day.
Disrespected Melo. And matter of fact, bro, I found another clip that I thought was funny. So this is the conversation that happened with LeBron and Jokic after the game. From what I was told, this is what happened after the game with Jokic and LeBron. Let's take a look at this.
I'm just saying this for the first time too. Hey, yes, sir, America. You talk all the shit you want. At the end, we gonna win.
So that was LeBron's message to Jokic after the game in the locker room when they greeted, man. So LeBron, Steph Curry, and the rest of the USA team. I usually don't give LeBron kudos, but I gotta give him kudos where it's deserved, and he helped out get that W against.
And we got the championship game against France tomorrow. And we have the women's also have a championship game against France tomorrow. First time in history, both two of the same countries will be going up against each other, men and women's, for the championship.
And you can't forget this Olympics is held in France, and they're going against Wemby, who just balled out against Germany, had 41 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, and 10 blocks.
No, those boys, they got some players. You got Wemby, you got Rudy. Like, I know people like to make fun. We can make fun of them over there or over here, but over there, Rudy's a fucking problem. You know, I mean, you can't teach 7 foot no matter what you say. I mean, and the way you fucking. Well, I don't know. Joel played good that last game, so hopefully he brings that to the party.
No, facts. And there's a lot of things that I've realized that you cannot teach when I'm watching the Olympics, when you're watching a lot of these different events. I mean, first, right off the bat, I mean, the 100-meter and 200-meter dash. I mean, those are one of the most, sought after events in the Olympics that you're going to watch. And usually it's, countries like Jamaica and others that are really taking it over. And here, USA has really put themselves on the map in some of these events. And, we had that guy, Noah Lyles, who really, in the 100-meter, did his thing, called people out, ended up winning the 100-meter dash. This is a guy that was born in Gainesville, Florida, right in our backyard. And when it came to the 200-meter dash, that's his big time event where he's put all his money in, and he was not afraid of, pre-interview before the event saying, hey, on that last turn, you're going to see who's in the lead, and I'm going to take this over, and I'm going to end up winning the 100-meter and 200-meter. And there was only 2 runners in history that have been able to do that, and Carl Lewis and Usain Bolt, who are 2 legendary runners. And unfortunately, he ended up not doing it. He ended up getting pretty toasted. It being in France, he was French toast? But anyways, no, he ended up not only did he not get burnt after the race, he ended up declaring and saying that he had COVID as well. So my thing is like, you went out and lost in an event that you were hyping up that this was your big time event. You got the L, and instead of taking it like a man, you kind of gave the excuse of saying, hey, I got COVID. But in my opinion, you had COVID in the 100-meter dash, and you won it with no problem. So
did he?
Yeah.
How many days apart was that?
It was 2 days. I think it was 2 or 3 days apart. So
I don't know. I'm really asking.
Yeah. So, I mean, Noah Lyles, born in Gainesville, won the 100-meter, didn't win the 200-meter. I don't know if you watched that at all. Some of the other news that have happened was the men's and women's beach volleyball team, neither one qualified for a medal, which is the first time in a long time that has happened. And I believe the men's indoor volleyball team didn't qualify either. They lost to, I think, Poland or Brazil. No, they beat Brazil, lost to Poland. So that was a big time L for the men's indoor volleyball team. But one of the other events that I thought was pretty interesting was the pole vault. There was a kid out of Louisiana that was repping the country in Sweden, and on his 3rd attempt, he ended up breaking the all-time record for pole vaulting. And I believe his name was Armand Duplantis. He ended up getting a record
from Louisiana.
Yeah, he ended up getting a record of 20 feet 6 inches in the pole vault, bro.
That ain't the same dude who dick was so big that he just knocked down the whole pole, is it?
I don't think so.
No Diddy. But
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I just want to say,
I don't know about that.
Hey, bro, you ain't a loser. You about to hoes finna be DMing you. You ain't lose nothing. You won. Yeah. I know how you win and lose at the same time, but you figured out a way to fucking do it. All right, so shout out to that guy. Shout out to the bandit.
We can take a shot.
Shout out to the bandit.
Let's take a shot real quick.
Because I saw on Twitter the hoes were after him after that.
No, he has a bad one.
Does he? Oh, he married? Okay, I'm sorry. To the missus. I don't know his name. I don't know the missus' name. But
wife is pretty bad.
Hey, but here's for winning for losing.
You actually brought up a good point though, Bo. You talk about shout out to the missus. You're about to. I know you didn't hear about this, and as soon as you hear about it and see it firsthand with a bunch of our viewers that are tuned in with us, you're gonna be like, "Where do I find a girl like this from?" So speaking of misses, there was a French runner in the 3,000 meter steeplechase in the Olympics, right, by the name of Elise Finot, right? This young woman.
What the fuck is a steeplechase?
Steeplechase is essentially like you're running around a track like normal, but you're also jumping over obstacles like a rail that goes into water or just a rail in general. So you're doing hurdles, rail, things like that. But you're doing that like every 50 to 100 meters. You're jumping over something and landing, and you're going like in about 8 to 10 times around a circle. Okay. But anyways, this young woman from France by the name of Elise Finot. Unfortunately, Bo, our girl did not finish in first or in second.
She's from France?
Yeah,
she ain't our girl.
Yeah, look, but listen, she might be a girl that you might want because I have never seen this done before, in my opinion. And this is some legendary stuff.
Was she a G?
No, she's more than a G. She finished 4th place in the Olympics, and as soon as she finished 4th, Bo, you know what she did? She went up to her man, got on one knee with the ring already in her, and proposed after the race. Talk about legendary stuff. 4th place in the Olympics, and the first thing you do is run to your man and pull out a ring and propose. Where you find that at?
I'll tell you where you find that at. You can only find that in the country that was the first one to fucking give up to the Nazis. What kind of bullshit is that? That ain't impressive to me. Why are you proposing to this man? You came in fucking 4th place. If I was him, first of all, okay, if a woman wants to propose to you, that's always a no-no. But second of all, bitch, you just came in 4th place and you want to give me a 1st place ring? You get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see this shit. You better go do some laps or something, warm up. What the hell you got going on? Don't put me in this bullshit.
Oh my gosh. So there's one other thing that we definitely have to watch before we get done with the Olympics. And this is an event that I've been talking about with Bo behind the scenes for a while now.
France has been folded for a while.
Listen.
Jesus.
So there is a new event that has been breaking out in the scene of Olympics. And I say that all pun intended, and that's breakdancing. Oh, I've been talking about it. I've been talking about it for a week now. And finally, this Friday afternoon on August 9th at 10 in the morning.
We got a speaker or something?
No, what do you mean we got a speaker? It's the same thing it's the same thing we've been watching the whole time. We've been screen sharing, right? But I want you to watch this firsthand because there has been a lot of different events throughout the breakdancing that I've noticed where they're really just going based off the ranking. It's almost like a girl like doing a March Madness bracket. Like right, you just close your eyes and you just pick the highest ranked person and they end up winning. And I feel like that's really what happened throughout this breakdancing thing. I'm not a dancer judge, but when you watch some of these, girls go head to head, there was a few of these, matchups where the person that was underseeded definitely performed better and they did not give them any recognition at all. And there was one in particular that I wanted you to watch firsthand, not only because of the judging score and how good it was, but one of the dancers was very interesting. And she's been getting a lot of publicity on social media. So we'll pull it up here in just a minute. But what's your thoughts on the breakdancing in Olympics?
Well, one, I didn't even know that breakdancing was a fucking sport. It's so black people were owed a lot of fucking medals because we invented that shit. But second of all, how do they fucking even score that? Like, how is that scored? Like, how you say like Are they throwing up 10s like the fucking dunk contest, or like every time you go in your head, that's 10 points, 4 points? Like, how is that even fucking scored? Because I have no clue. I didn't even know this was an Olympic event. So please go.
So essentially, what happens is when I've been watching these events, essentially they play two songs. You know, there's two live DJs that are playing these songs, and what happens is they both go head to head, and they figure out between the two who's going to go first. And these songs are just songs out of the ordinary. So it's not like these dancers are already rehearsed and performed to these songs. So this is like right off the cusp, almost if you were a rapper and you were like hitting a freestyle off a new beat you're just hearing for the first time. So these break dancers are hearing instrumentals in a song for the first time, and they're, you know, just going right off the
so for the first time, there's no routine. Like, it's a random song, a random beat that they get.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I'm a little bit more interested now.
So it's a random beat. It's a random beat they get. They figure out between the two who goes first, and it's essentially a back and forth battle. One person goes first for about a minute. Next person goes for about a minute, and then they judge right then and there as they're still going. You know, there's a judging in the background where they kind of say, all right, point goes to this person or this person. They continue to go to round two, and then they figure out who gets the point. If you end up getting 1-1, it's a round robin currently. So all they're doing is just seeding currently. So it doesn't really matter who wins 2-0, 1-1. But there's a lot of these different events where it's like, bro, they definitely should have been like.
Okay, so I thought it was like some You Got Served shit where like you come with your pre-song that you rehearse to and you break your shit down. You know, some breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, not drop, not drop, not drop. Hey, You Got Served used to be that shit.
So check this out. There's a chick by the name of Nicka, Nicka, from Lithuania, right? And she not only did she win this head to head, which I don't know how. Me personally, I don't know.
Hold on, whoa! She won breakdancing from Lithuania.
Yeah, she won head to head against this girl from USA. And me personally, I think
was it a black girl?
No, but both of them were white. And not only was she white, she came out with a black do-rag on her head. Check this out. Check this out. Hold on. We're gonna pull this up right now. Let me see here. Boom. We got it going.
Nicka.
Here we go.
Showing my cousin.
Those are literally two.
What we doing around here, America?
But look,
America.
We watched that whole 6-minute clip, and Lithuania ended up winning 2-0.
Yeah, no, I got to give that to us. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
I got to give that to us, and that's not. I mean, you can call it bias because they ain't like nobody from the Lithuania in it, but I honestly feel like Homegirl was better than Not So Slim Shady.
That's how I felt as well. Speaking of, you know, feeling better, there's a couple NFL teams out there that need to be feeling better very quickly because they got some big time players out there that they need to lock up, because if they don't, they're going to go to other NFL teams and end up biting them in the ass. And one of those teams is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah,
we already know that the quarterback in Brock Purdy is a conservative quarterback, very similar to Alex Smith, that, you know, in my opinion, he just gets the job done, but he needs elite players around him in order to be successful. And you need to keep Deebo Samuel. You need to keep Christian McCaffrey. But another guy, in my opinion, you need to keep is Brandon Ayuk, who was a stud over at Arizona State, if I'm not mistaken.
With Jalen
and
Daniels.
He was being coached by my boy
Jaden Daniels.
Rob Likens. Shout out to my coach Rob Likens. We go way back when he was wide receiver coach at the U. But he told me personally a few years ago that is one of the most talented wide receivers he's ever coached. And the mentality he brings on and off the football field is far from none. And I think he is a big-time weapon that needs to be kept at San Francisco 49ers. I know there's a lot of, you know, rumors and things going around that they might be parting ways. He may be, you know, flirting with teams like Pittsburgh Steelers. But currently, right now, as we're talking about this at 9:15 p.m., August 9th, I've been hearing actually the two are trying to work things out right now. What's your thoughts on it?
So I'm a big Ayuk fan. Anybody that plays fantasy with me knows like the two receivers. Well, I'm the biggest D Hop fan, so I'm always trying to get D Hop, and I love Ayuk. Yep. And so I feel like I honestly feel like if you're not gonna pay him what he's worth, you just go ahead and get some picks for him. Like, you're Kyle Shanahan, you're the best schemer of all time. You still got McCaffrey, you still got Kittle, you still got Debo. You know, you're going to re-sign Trent. Like, you don't need him. So go ahead and get some picks for him if you don't value him at a, 30 million, 32, 30 a year type guy. If you don't value him, go ahead and get some picks for him. So that part I don't get. I would love to see him go to the Steelers. And not that I think, well, I would love to see him go to the Browns. The Steelers, I don't think have the quarterback to even, let him live up to his full potential. But man, yeah, it's been crazy. This Ayuk situation could have been handled. Like, if you you didn't want to pay him 30+ mil before, you knew that before the draft. Why not trade him, get picks? Like, you ain't have to waste a first-round pick on Ricky Purcell. I don't want to miss
Ricky Purcell,
who's been fucking hurt twice already in camp. Like, I don't even know why they even thought that was going to be a good fucking pick when fucking Keon Coleman was still there, Xavier Worthy was still there, and shit like that. But that's another story for another day. But like, go ahead and get something for him. If you don't think he's that, then go ahead and get something for him. And I wouldn't be mad if they traded him, because I do trust Kyle Shanahan to be able to scheme his receivers open. I do trust Brock. I think he's better than what you say. I think he's a Dak Prescott. I think he's a Dak Prescott. I think he's the definition of average, can get you there if you give him the right thing. And but Brock has too many of the right things. He can afford to lose one. Dak can't. Dak can't afford to lose, a CeeDee or some shit like that.
As my Cowboys have definitely been stacked at times, whether it's on offense or defense. But as stacked as we've been, if Dak had the weapons that Brock had this past year, I think he would be even better than what Brock is. And
I don't think so.
And me personally, I don't even have faith in Dak like that. I agree with you. I think Dak is above average. I don't think he's a superstar quarterback. I don't think he's that guy that's going to take the realm by himself. And like, if the offense is not doing well and he needs to take over a game in the fourth quarter, like a Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Dak can do that. But I don't think Brock can either. And I think if Dak had the same weapons Brock had, I think he would be doing just as good, if not better.
But we've seen Dak with those weapons. We've seen Dak with Ceedee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott. And was Schultz the tight end at the time? Or was what? No, Schultz was still there. Like, we've seen him with multiple all-pro level players, and he still don't get the job done. I'm sorry, Dak is just a choker, no diddy. Like, when it comes to that big game, like, he's had those weapons, like, no bull. Like, I'm sorry, you can say a lot of shit about the Cowboys, but one thing they do one of the best of is draft. They draft fucking well. And so Dak has always had weapons around him until now. Like, I think CeeDee now is the only great offensive player. And with that being said, why aren't you paying this man? I saw the shit where they were talking about CeeDee to the Chiefs. Don't let that happen.
Listen,
don't let that happen.
First and foremost, you talk about what my Cowboys do well, and it is drafting. But one thing we definitely don't do well is Jerry Jones in press conferences.
Oh, dear God.
Anytime Jerry Jones gets quoted, it's usually something bad. And you brought up my boy Ceedee Lamb and about getting paid, possibly going to the Chiefs and other programs. And, there was a quote by Jerry Jones earlier in the last 48 hours that really got a lot of people's, ears up, including 88 Ceedee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And in quotes, it was, I don't have an urgency to get it done. Talking about the deal with Ceedee Lamb. And in my opinion, it's like, hello, he is the number one player on your offense. Why would you not get it done? You have seen all these other top receivers in the NFL in the past year alone that have gotten their big time deals. I'm sorry, but 88 deserves just that. You gave him 88 for a reason. Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant, Ceedee Lamb. These are the guys that you got to make sure are staples of the Dallas Cowboys. And as soon as he did that, guess what? 88 tweeted out LOL. And after that, he tweeted out 8/8. I don't know if it was because when the quote came out, it was August 8th. I don't know if he put 8/8 because the 88s are splitting up and he's going elsewhere. I don't know what's happening, but CeeDee Lamb is my favorite player on the Dallas Cowboys, and really the only reason why I'm holding on to being a Cowboy fan. And if Jerry Jones fucks this up, I'm picking a new NFL team.
So, Jerry Jones needs to sit his ass down somewhere. Why are you talking? Like, I've never seen somebody like just want the spotlight like that. Like I mean, I get it. You own the team. You made the team to what it is. You made them to the most, expensive sports franchise in history. And I get it. But, like, why are you talking? And also, do you know football? Do you not know this guy is your guy? You're not going to pay Dak. And if you were not to pay Dak, would anybody blame Jerry for not paying Dak? No, you wouldn't. But you would blame him for not paying CD. You would blame him for not paying Micah. And the thing is, Micah can get his contract now, too. He can wait another year. But why would you wait? Because now you're going to be waiting again and pay more expensive. It's going to be more expensive by that time. And then you're going to be doing the same fucking thing then that you're doing now. Like, go ahead and pay the man his money. Is CD as good as Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, he's pretty close. I wouldn't say he's better than Justin, but it's not like they're in different oceans.
Yeah.
They're in the same water. They're in the same realm. Like, I think it's.
But who's him?
It's Devontae Adams, it's Justin Jefferson, and it's Tyreek Hill. Those are my top three.
I mean, but you can't even put Adams in there, not because of Adams' talent and who he is, but because you can't trust who's throwing him the fucking ball.
Hello, your favorite wide receiver is DeAndre Hopkins. That's the prime example of Devontae.
Numbers. D-Hop don't.
Devontae Adams has numbers.
His worst year was with the Raiders. What are you talking about? His worst year was with the Raiders.
If you're trying to say that Devontae Adams is not like that or not,
no, he is. But don't compare him to D-Hop with a no-name quarterback, because when D-Hop had a no-name quarterback, he still went for 1,000 All-Pro and was killing motherfuckers.
Adams is a top 3 receiver.
I think he is talent-wise.
No.
Production-wise, was he?
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
He's always been a production top 3 receiver.
Always. No, he was.
No, always.
When he had Aaron Rodgers.
No, Devontae Adams is like that. For sure.
I mean, I love Devontae. I don't love him. I like Devontae Adams.
For sure.
But my point is, because Justin Jefferson is the highest paid right now. CD wants that type of money.
Which he deserves.
He is good? No, but he's Justin Jefferson to you. He's Devontae Adams to you. You got to give him that fucking money. And again, who are you fucking paying?
Listen, you got to remember
the
longevity and what you're getting out of a player, in a wide receiver and a quarterback compared to like a running back is night and day. So that is why you're going to overpay and pay these quarterbacks and wide receivers. And unfortunately, once that number 1 or number 2 quarterback or wide receiver in the league gets that payday, he sets a new predicament for the rest of the league. And so unfortunately, what Justin Jefferson got has now set a new bar where that's going to be the bar for a guy like Ceedee Lamb.
And that's fucking Jerry's fault. You could have paid him last year. You could have paid him Tyreek money, $30 million a year. Now it's up to 35. You could have paid him $30 million a year and been good. You could have locked him in and he would have signed that.
Listen, I'm a Cowboy fan. Everything's going to be Jerry's fault.
No, it is, but it is. Just pay the guy at that. Pay him before you have to pay him. He did the same thing with Dak a few years ago when Dak didn't need to be a $40 million quarterback. He could have paid him when Carson Wentz and Jared Goff got their contract, but he decided to wait. And when you wait, it's like, hey, I got my contract after them. I need way more money because I proved it longer. That's on you. Like, why do you keep waiting on every fucking thing? You're 89 years old. You ain't got that much waiting more to do. Go all in. You say you're all in. Go fucking all in and show us. You know what I mean? Like, if you really, but I don't think he really wants to. I think he really just wants the media. I think he wants to shine. I think because if you're really all in, he could have made fucking moves. Derrick Henry wanted to go to fucking Dallas and shit. Derrick Henry wanted to go there. You all in, and this one of the best running backs wants to come to me.
Listen, but this isn't the first time this has happened. You remember 2 or 3 years ago when we were like 1 or 2 guys away on the defensive side of the ball from literally being that defense. We were already a top 5 defense. And guess whose name came knocking, ready to be at the helm? Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
Earl was literally finished the game against the Seahawks and the Cowboys, left the locker room and went straight to the Dallas Cowboys locker room and
said, come get me. Come get me. No, a direct quote, come get me. But if I'm not wrong, didn't Von Miller also tell him the same thing? Because Von Miller is from Texas, and he said, "Come get." He wanted to play for Dallas. Bobby Wagner wanted to go to fucking Dallas.
My NFL team is very similar to my college team. Our college team. There were a lot of legendary college players that you turn in the interviews and you turn on YouTube. There were so many legendary players that wanted to go to Miami, that wish they had the University of Miami offer. The offer, and if they would have came to Miami. So many legendary players. They ended up not going elsewhere, right? So I think at the end of the day, it's just the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. Until Jerry Jones is gone, I don't see us doing anything much. And unfortunately, that's just how it's gonna be.
And I love it. I love when the Cowboys suck. I fucking love it.
Well,
Cowboys, Patriots, and the fucking God damn it, what's their name? I can't think of it right now. This drink finally starting.
Matter of fact, let's take one more shot.
Let's go ahead
before we get into the last segment of the podcast for today.
I'll go ahead and throw
it's our favorite segment too. It's a segment that we do every single time we're at a bar. We do this segment. We're gonna be talking about it here in just a minute after we take the shot home. Yes. So this last segment, before we wrap things up on this first episode of Debo and Brad.
Brad and Bo,
Debo and Brad don't matter really. But this last segment that we're going to be talking about is a segment that we're going to bring to you every single show. It's something that we do all the time with whether it's just me or you or some of our other homeboys when we're at the bar. Is it don't matter what basketball.
I think every guy,
every group
that
of guys does this.
Like every group of friends that love sports does this shit.
And it's this right here. I don't think it's been really done much on YouTube, and we're gonna bring this to fruition, right? And that's, you know, whether it's a basketball game or a football game that you're watching, right? There's always you and those group of guys. You're taking shots, you're drinking, and there's people around you, and all of a sudden you just shout out one of the players' names that make a dunk or make a touchdown catch, right? And you say,
or you might say it's underrated. This dude was underrated. Oh, what college?
And you say Steph Curry. What college did you go to?
You know, Davidson.
Boom, right there, right? So it's guess your college, right? And there's gonna
guess that college.
There's gonna be some easy ones. There's gonna be some hard ones, but we're gonna bring this to you every single segment where we're both gonna bring up three guys, whether it's the NBA or in the NFL. We're gonna bring up their picture, and the other person is going to have to guess what college they went to. And we're going to keep score of this all throughout our shows. But we figured this is the first time we should bring it up. So I'm going to need you to slide on over there for at least the first guy.
Okay,
so I can
turn my head.
All right, yeah. You can turn your head. You can do whatever you want, man. But I'm going to bring up the first guy.
Might need to pour up again.
No, matter of fact, just go to the kitchen and pour up real quick. Go ahead. Go ahead and pour up real quick, man. Because I'm going to need to make sure, because me and you are both pretty good at this stuff. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've done things like this. But I got my first guy in mind that I'm going to bring up. Let's see here. Who do I got in store today? All right. I got this.
Just so our viewers know, Brad,
I got this.
Fucking Wingstop ain't give me none.
I did eat all the Wingstop. I did eat all the Wingstop. I ain't gonna lie about that. All right. So, Bo, whenever you're ready, man, you go ahead and slide over here, and you let me know who this guy is and what college he went to.
Oh, fucking Puka. Puka went to BYU.
He did go to BYU.
Yes, Puka went to BYU.
He did go to BYU. All right, let me go ahead and get my second one. So go ahead and
I'll look away.
All right, you look away. Let's go. Let's see what I got next to my next guy. Let's see here. Let's go with this guy. He's a running back that I like for a little bit, especially from my old team.
I already know who it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you already saw my list before.
I swear to God, I did. I told you.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah. Where'd he go to school?
Tony Pollard. He went to Memphis. Mike Norvell. I swear to God, I just remember that.
This guy definitely saw my list.
I swear to God, on my kids, I did not see your list. On my kids. I promise. I just know. I know this shit, bro.
See.
I'm him.
If he knows this guy, he definitely saw my list. If he saw this guy, all right. So
bro,
this is my.
I swore on my kids.
Don't worry.
Saying I don't love my kids now.
No, don't worry. If you get this one, you definitely saw my phone. Don't look yet. Hold on. There's a backstory to this choice as well, guys. My uncle and my pops knew this guy firsthand. Ended up playing basketball with him in the backyard back.
I already know. You already told me this story. No, you didn't. But
let's see here. All right,
bro. I
go ahead.
$100 for this team.
Oh, go ahead. Do you even know who?
Oh shit, Steve Blake.
Yeah.
Did
legend in college. Fucking legend.
I really want to say, and I swear to God, I did not see your list. I just want to say, Can I say UCLA?
No. I'll give you another guess.
Steve Blake. Was it a Power 5 school?
Matter of fact, now that I'm looking at it, I gave you I already gave you the answer on here. So
Did you?
Yeah,
Where?
I did. So I need to exit out real quick.
I swear to God, I didn't see it.
Well, look, he didn't see it, so thankfully, I think we're a few drinks in, but it was Maryland.
Maryland? Oh,
He led the Maryland Terrapins to a 2002 national championship.
Really?
He did.
2002?
2002.
When was 9/11?
2001. So it was right after 9/11.
So fourth grade.
Steve Blake. Shout out to Steve Blake, man. He's originally from the 305, man. He
from Miami too?
Listen, he used to hoop with my uncle and my dad in the backyard. My uncle actually used to date his sister back in the day in high school.
What?
Yeah, man. So Steve Blake, he was one of the only white boys that would hoop, pick up basketball, didn't matter where it was, but Steve Blake was like that. Yes.
You can tell by the haircut. He got that like I hung around niggas haircut.
Yeah. So all right, so he got 2 out of 3. That's definitely pretty good. So I'm gonna walk away and let him go.
I promise y'all, he only gonna get 1 out of 3.
He probably will because I didn't see his list.
Bro, on my kids, I didn't see your list. Stop that. I'm only pulling up the picture. Oh shit. Can you see this without seeing the school? All right, come on. Now everybody know I'm a Colts fan. So my first pick obviously is a Colts player, one of my favorite Colts player ever. He's probably my favorite? Peyton Manning, and then this guy, Bob Sanders.
Stanford?
No.
Oh man. Bob Sanders.
Bob fucking Sanders, monster. No disrespect to Sean Taylor, but the original 21, fucking heads off.
I mean, Sean Taylor
at an below average guy height.
Sean Taylor OG number was 36, by the way.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
20,
Sean Taylor's known for 21.
Yeah. And he's known for 26, but
he's known for 21.
And it's not Stanford.
No, it's not Stanford. It's a Big Ten school.
Michigan?
No.
Ohio State?
No.
Michigan State?
Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa.
I didn't get that.
Big Bob was like that.
Yeah. Iowa.
Big Bob was like that.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Told you he wasn't going to be able to get mine. Who was my next one? Oh, okay. Wait, say that. I want to make sure you don't see the college. All right, let's go. Don't worry, next week we'll find a better way to do this.
Oh shit, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen, I used to kill motherfuckers and mad with him and that.
Oh shit,
Jared fucking Allen.
I don't know this one.
You know who Jared Allen is, though.
Yeah,
don't
of course.
you?
Of course, I know Jared Allen. I just don't know the.
I knew you wouldn't get this one.
No, I don't know this one.
He's not a Power 5 player.
Yeah, I figured. I gave you some pretty easy ones.
Midwest. Just name a state. Midwest.
Iowa.
No. Starts with I. The state starts with
Indiana?
No.
Idaho?
Yeah.
Okay.
Idaho State.
Idaho State? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Go with your last one.
Here's my last. Did you do your basketball player? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I did. Steve Blake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure
mine's aren't hard. These are players you know.
No, they're players you know, but they're not like recent players.
All yours were recent?
I mean, 2 out of 3 were. You bringing up players that have been retired for almost 10 years.
Stop that.
Jared Allen and Bob Sanders? How long have they been out of the league?
A while.
A while.
I didn't know I had a fucking timeline on it. Should have told me that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna just go there. All right, let's go. You know who the player is.
Zach Randolph.
Uh-huh.
Fucking
Big Debo.
God damn.
You know, people used to say, I mean, I was like a cross between Zion.
I should know this too. Fuck.
Randolph and
Michigan State.
Yeah.
All right.
He's Michigan State.
All
Damn,
right.
good guess.
All right.
So Brad went 1 of 3. Debo's up right now.
All right, you're at 1.
Debo's up right now. Hell yeah.
You're at 1. So, man,
I honestly didn't think you'd get that one though.
Did you even pull it up on the thing? I don't think you even pulled it up where people can see it.
Oh yeah, I know how to do that shit.
You
Okay.
did. Maybe
Brad,
you didn't.
Brad can edit that in.
Yeah, I don't think you did it for any of them, so people can even see your choices. But anyways, 2 for 3 for you, 1 for 3 for me. But yeah, man, we went right over an hour, right exactly what we expected for the first episode of Brad and Bo. But yeah, man, it's been a good one, man. We're gonna continue to chop it up, whether it's Olympics, Miami Hurricanes football. We got NFL right around the corner, and college football season running around the corner. We'll be doing our prize picks, our fantasy picks, our week to week picks. We'll be chopping it up every single week about football, basketball, whether it's any division, any school out there.
No, yeah, it's gonna be fun. And if you need some picks, hey, tell me. I'm telling you. Tell me. I got the shit. I got it down packed this year. You know what I mean? And if you end up losing, don't fucking call my phone. I ain't got shit to do with that. You're a grown ass man. You make your own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh man,
but yeah, man, I can't wait for football season, man. Shit's about to get so fucking fun. You know,
hey, it all starts August 31st. That's where the fun begins.
August 31st.
It's gonna be great, legendary, just like this podcast. I hope for it to be in the next couple months. But it's your boy Brad,
Big Bo.
We out. Brad and Bo podcast, episode 1 in the books. Man, we'll see y'all next week. We out.
Appreciate y'all watching.